how you doing, my little tattletales? Well, if you are J-Lo and Ben Affleck, you must think we are tired, through, and delayed. What am I talking about? Jennifer Lopez, like we predicted, has been exposed for another lie. What is that lie? Guess what, guys? The other house that they had in escrow, their forever home, their blended family, the family home has fallen through. And now there is a new lie on top of that. You guys, what are we going to just start saying? They are having marriage problems. But the funny thing is, if J-Lo is having marriage problems, why don't they just stay out of the newspapers? Why are they planning so many stories? And before y'all say they're not planning them, I find it almost impossible to believe that no matter how slow a news day is, we care whether Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are house hunting. Come on, y'all. There's been other stuff going on. There's plenty of stuff to talk about besides that. But let's get into this, right? Shout out to my girl, Robin, right? Let's get into this tea. Robin says, riddle me this, right? What's going on with J-Lo and Ben Affleck? Because if you guys don't know, TMZ has a report about how they pulled out of their second house in escrow. We're going to get into that report. But Robin has an interesting theory when she says, well, it's not even interesting, it's true. The first house they were going to buy from the Russian billionaire was supposed to be in escrow, but then they pulled out of it because they decided to renovate Jennifer's house, okay? But then we said, okay, the house was supposed to be renovated. And then they said, oh, we're not doing that. We found a forever home. We're in escrow again. And then they pulled out of that. Now she says, and to be honest with you, I don't think they were in escrow on either one of these. They say that because on both houses that were in escrow, they were taking backup. They said that backup offers were still being accepted as soon as they went into escrow. Let me tell you guys, if you guys have ever bought a house or if you know anything about escrow, there is no one that would agree to go into escrow but still let an owner take backup offers. What happens, you go into escrow, the home is off the market. Now, if you default on escrow, you pay the owner or you pay the seller some type of predetermined amount for their time, trouble, and money, right? But let's get into this because I find this so hard to believe. And at this point, this is just turning into a laughing stock. J-Lo and Ben, we just keep pulling out, bailed again on a house in escrow. J-Lo and Ben Affleck can't make up their minds. They've dropped out of escrow again on a house they were about to buy. Sources with direct knowledge, this has to be Ben and J-Lo, tell TMZ that J-Lo and Ben have pulled the plug on the Pacific Palisades home, which they were set on buying for $34.5 million. One source close to the couple says they were supposed to close escrow last Friday, but just before it was signed, sealed, and delivered, they pulled out. As we reported, they were spotted at a nearby mansion on Tuesday where they were still in escrow on another house, so it looks like they weren't sure about the house they were about to get. Let me tell you something before I forget. This is all BS. Let me tell you what I think is going on. J-Lo and Ben are having severe problems. Ben is probably the one that is having cold feet getting joint property because unlike a marriage or an engagement, which he will walk out of, joint property is something completely different. For whatever reason, Jen and J-Lo do not feel it's the right time to combine homes. They don't feel like it's the right time to move in with each other. So why all this stuff about escrow? Because they made a big fuss about the forever home. This is all in J-Lo's mind. They made a big fuss about They made a big fuss about what's going on in the relationship. J-Lo has a fairy tale to sell. I think her ego is wrapped up around it, right? The first home, I think they maybe were looking to buy it, but something fell through. Mostly it's Ben because he's always the one that fallen through. A lot of people are like, hey, what's going on? Oh, no. The reason we left that is because we decided to stay at my mansion. Okay, we decided to stay with my mansion and we're going to turn that into our forever home. Then there were all these things about how like J-Lo's been mentally tortured since Ben left her. The kids don't really get along. Blending a family is hard. They want all the kids to be this forever home. How do you want all the kids to have their forever home when the kids say, I have a forever home? It's with my mommy, right? Ben's kids live with Jennifer Garner and just come to visit Jen. They don't care how their room looks. And even if they do, it's just decoration. They're like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. but I really live at my mom's house, okay? None of them have plans to move in with their father, Ben, and Ben is trying to do everything they can to rebuild his relationship with them. So then they say, we're moving into my house. Then something else happens and that blows up. Jennifer has to explain why Ben's not really staying there, right? Instead of the nights when she kicks him out at the Beverly Hills Hotel, at least that's what's being reported. So they make up a new lie. No. The reason why we're not living here is because we finally found our forever home. That forever home, they say it's an escrow. That home was never in escrow. It was still taking offers. It looks like one of those offers got accepted. Jennifer and Ben are going to have to save face on what happened to the home they were supposed to be buying. So what do? They stay walkabouts in real estate, okay? In real estate, they do staged walkabouts to be like, no, we found a new home. This is the third time you told us you were getting a home. This is the third time that you say that you're going into escrow and you expect us to believe it. Y'all, let's get into this. If you notice also, the kids, the twins and Ben's kids have completely stopped with those stupid walkabouts that Jen and Ben had them doing. They have not been seen on camera. They are sharing everything privately. They just don't want to be a part of this, right? Now, they're saying that, now this is the funny thing. They were spotted at a nearby mansion last Tuesday. Again, you cannot tell me that Ben and Jen did not call TMZ. They wanted us to see them at that mansion because they knew plans were that it was going to be announced that they weren't in escrow with the second property. So it looks like they weren't sure about the house they're about to get. Another source says they're now in escrow on another house. We don't know if it's the same one they looked at on Tuesday. We're told they looked at another house last week as well. At least one of the agents they looked at this week was going for more than twice. What am I saying? At least one of the estates they looked at last week was going for more than twice what they were spending on the one they fell out of escrow. This is at least the second house they've been in escrow but bailed out at the last minute. First of all, let me tell you something. If something is signed, sealed, and delivered, you cannot bail out on escrow. That's not the way things work. And there's no way you were in escrow and you were still taking offers. But check this, because this is the most interesting thing. Guess what? Don't you know? It doesn't matter that they filed an escrow. They have a new house. And don't you know, it's worth double what the last one was. Girl, J-Lo, let's get into this, right? And now they're, instead of buying a $34.5 million mansion, they're buying a $64.5 million mansion. Do you think J-Lo was like, nah, you're going to have to go half in on this, Ben? Because it looks like they're going 50-50. You're spending 30-something million. I'm spending 30-something million. Let's do a 64 million. Let me pull this up because this one is just full of here we go. Ben and Jen are in escrow for a new mansion worth nearly twice the canceled one. Again, I have serious doubts that this sale is going to go through, but let's listen to what J-Lo wants us to know and see if we can pick through the truth. They're saying Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez pulled the plug on the mansion they were trying to buy, but for good reason. Because the new one they want is way nicer and twice as expensive. Real estate sources tell TMZ the married couple is currently in escrow for a massive property in the Pacific Palisades, the same neighborhood where they were just in escrow for another house, only to reverse course at the last minute. Why would anybody enter into a sale for people that just left escrow? This new house is quite the palace, whereas the mansion they just built on was worth $34 million. The one they now have their sights set on is $64 million. The price tag is certainly high, but it might be worth it when you consider everything it comes with. 8 bedrooms, 11 baths, 16,000 square feet of a fortress on a 1.3 acre compound. It's humongous, and that's not including everything else inside. Their new home comes with an 800 square foot gym, professional media room, a game room, spacious backyard, and a resort style pool spa with a fire pit area. There's a whole separate guest area, which is its own Japanese style soaking tub. First of all, I saw J-Lo's house. She actually has up on sale. That house looks way nicer than this one, but whatever. Mind you, this is the property that J-Lo and Ben recently visited in person. Our sources tell us they've been swinging by frequently to eyeball changes they might want to make once the sale goes through. They do this often, by the way, even at other PP house they nixed. Oh, and if you're wondering how Ben and Jen can afford such a pricey pad beyond just being filthy rich, we have answers on that as well. The source says that Jen's famed Bel Air estate, which has been on the market for a minute, is also now an escrow for a potential buyer for $39 million. J-Lo just put her property up on the market 2 weeks ago. What are they talking about? Now, Ben did sell his house for $30 million. Again, all I want to say is this, and this goes to be said, right? And I think Robin said it best. She feels sorry for the realtors dealing with the couple. It's not they can't make up their minds. It's J-Lo who can't make up her mind. She wonders if Ben told Jen that she didn't want the responsibility of coordinating the move while she was allegedly getting ready on tour. Would you trust Ben with that responsibility? No. Now, I don't know about that, but I do know that they said now somebody did comment that the last one, a full view of Paps, this is what Ben, Jen trying to do a family pap, trying to sell the thing that they have a blended family. At the end of the day, Ben and Jen have who they always wanted, which is each other. It looks like none of the kids are on board. And if you notice, the kids are spending time separate from Jennifer. They just want to spend time with their dad. They're talking about the kids, especially J-Lo's kids, saying the last paparazzi stroll that they had was a full view of the Paps on a busy Sunset Boulevard, was at a spec house. They weren't even planning on getting it. These escrows keep falling through because they have no intention of buying any house at all. They're dragging out these Pap strolls and this PR romance, probably also getting paid to showcase these overpriced mansions that no one else is buying, until they can announce the split due to career and lifestyle differences. J-Lo will go on a tour, Vegas residency, whatever, and she'll blame Ben's addictions, their not so blended families, and the media again. Anyone but her own self for their problems. The only ones I feel sorry for here are the kids. Now, here's the thing I do want to say with that. I think that's a little harsh with J-Lo. I think that everybody keeps making amends because J-Lo is known to be difficult. She's known not to be a very nice person. That still doesn't discount the fact that Ben is a recovering addict. He hasn't even gone through all his steps. Living with someone like Ben has to be incredibly hard because here's the thing, and I'll say this once and I'll say it again. J-Lo has always been who she is. She loves the media, she courts attention, she invites the attention, Ben is different. Ben acts like he's on board with stuff, and then when it doesn't work out his way, he cries himself a river. Why I didn't get what I want? He blames everybody. He goes into a self-destructive spiral, destroys everybody's life around him, whether it be his wife, his kids, his lovers, it doesn't matter. Destroys everybody's life, and then when he comes back up, everybody has to pitch in and help him build up so he can feel loved and he can feel respected. Again, Ben is a grown man. He asked Jen to marry him on his own accord. A lot of people said he was begging Jen to leave A-Rod before she finally left. And the only reason she left A-Rod is because Ben gave her assurances that everything she wanted him to do, he would do. Stay clean, get married, blend the families, all this stuff. She held up her end of the bargain. Ben seems the one that's flaking out. Now, both of them are doing this nonsense of the house. And here's the thing with Ben and Jen. Jen wants everyone to respect her relationship with Ben so much. But the problem is you need to be focused on what's going on with Ben, because I'm telling you, there is something up there. Ben needs to slow down. He needs help. J-Lo does not need to baby him. Ben needs to get the help he needs, and he needs to be honest with himself. I think the benefit of the bargain that he likes the razzle dazzle that comes with J-Lo. He just wants it to go away when he's sick of it. He needs to be honest of the part he plays all the time in his misery. Again, the kids aren't even spending time with each other as a blended family. The holidays were a mess. The kids didn't spend the twins' birthday together. This is all falling apart. Listen, I don't know what Ben and Jen were going for. I just know I don't think it was this. I do not think it was this. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.